Well, first, I want to say, since I have a constituent here, I'd like to welcome Kofi, even though I'm not sure you and I agree on this issue. I think it's important that people are active regardless of their political background, and I appreciate the fact that she's testifying here today. And I'm sorry if I didn't know how to say your last name correctly, and I didn't want to make a mess of it. I'm a teacher, and I do that all the time at school, and it drives me crazy when I screw up students' last names. Uh, I want to just make a couple points that I think are really important for us to keep in mind. That uh, I love the trend we're going to. I am home and have been home since March with 3 kids, 7 and under. I get it. Every day, I get it. I left this hearing at one point to go upstairs and tell my kids to stop running around so I could hear you folks. I understand. I'm working as a senator, was running for re-election, and now here while also teaching as a college professor. Yeah, there's nothing I want more. My wife and I have literally had plans on the first day of school next fall to take a vacation that day so we can enjoy home time, right? So I want to be clear about that. I get that. I want to also point out that this idea of the tragedies we're having at our schools that are tough also have been going on long before this, right? It's just really highlighting and exasperating many of the problems our schools have already had. And so I appreciate the fact that maybe in a bipartisan way, we can finally take a serious look at some of those things, because what the pandemic really did is highlighted many of the inadequacies we have overall. And that's a real problem. And so I'm glad we can look at that, especially in the area of mental health. I welcome that. I think we have a governor here that has been characterized by many words on the floor by members of the opposing party, sometimes using the word as tyrant, or out there just making monolithic control. And I want to be clear about a couple of things that I think is really important. In my conversations with him, have kind of played this out. Nobody wants to be governor during a pandemic. It's awful, right? This guy isn't out here like a tyrant just making decisions for the heck of it. He has a very good staff and a very good group of people that he consults with on a regular basis, not to mention the executive constitutional officers. And the idea that he's out there just making decisions like he's benefiting from the big mask industry or something, I think is nothing short of preposterous, right? This is a guy that cares very much and spent much of his time in the classroom. And so to make the kind of comments that he's out there just making this willy-nilly is kind of silly. I think the science needs to be followed. I'm excited about getting kids back to school. I do not believe Senator Nelson's bill in any way gets us close to that. And I'm just grateful there isn't a House companion and there's no chance to become a law, right? If he gives us reason to go down that road and we have to make decisions about taking that authority away, I am more than happy to have that conversation. I have yet to see evidence that that reason needs to happen. Don't get me wrong, I understand the struggles and the frustrations and how hard it is to have these conversations with our kids, to talk about being at home, the mental health issues, all of that. But to conflate that as somehow Tim Walz's fault or the governor's fault, that's ridiculous, right? We are in a pandemic. We're working our way through it. We're getting better. And we see the kids going back to school. And I hope they're all back to school as soon as possible. But taking this step, that's just a poke in the eye. And I don't like where it's motivated from. Thank you.